I've sat in dozens of gaming chairs, but Secretlab's might be the most overrated of them all. Take this Secretlab Titan EVO, for example. There are so many issues with Secretlab chairs that you haven't heard about because nearly every video game streamer and their mother is getting paid to promote them. I'm gonna let you know the actual truth about these chairs. If they're a good fit for you, great. If not, I've got some better alternatives at different price points later in the video. But before the fanboys pull out their pitchforks, just hear me out. I don't think this is a terrible chair, I just don't think it lives up to the hype, and I think the tactics Secretlab uses to push these chairs onto you guys are extremely sneaky and disingenuous, but more on that later. First, just so you don't think I'm a total hater, let's start with what's good about Secretlab chairs like the Titan EVO. And hey, even though it's not my favorite chair, if you do decide to buy one, I'll drop a link down below that I'll keep updated with the best current deals on these chairs and others, and using these links will help support the channel, which I always appreciate. So first off, I do see what people like about Secretlab chairs like the Titan EVO. I get it, I do. If you're a live streamer or run a YouTube channel about video games, it's hard to beat how cool these chairs look on camera. Secretlab offers a ton of color options, and they have some really sweet collabs with specific video game franchises. Personally, I love that their flagship Titan line comes with the letter T embroidered on it because, you know, T for Tyler. You can also refresh the look of the chair by putting a new skin over it and even swapping out the cloud swap armrests. I'm legitimately a big fan of all that. I think it's great. I also love the magnetic memory foam head pillow. It's just a really clever idea and one of my favorite chair accessories out there. Plus, Secretlab's Titan EVO can recline super far back, which feels great, even though the recline lever feels kind of rickety and cheap. But unfortunately, that's where the good news ends for me, because the rest of this chair feels jankier than a game from Bethesda Game Studios.
This is the end for you.
The reality that your favorite sponsored streamer isn't going to tell you is that this is a chair designed for aesthetics first, with comfort and support as an afterthought. Now, of course, I'm gonna show you the biggest flaws of Secretlab's chairs, but people would know this for themselves if they were able to try the chairs before buying them. Unfortunately, Secretlab offers no way to try before you buy. So I guess the secret is what it actually feels like to sit in one of these. This company sells a lot of chairs, definitely enough to have their chairs featured in showrooms around the world if they wanted to. Even smaller brands tend to do this. Yet Secretlab doesn't. Call me crazy, but I know if I sold a comfortable chair, I would want as many people getting a chance to sit in it as possible. If you started a company and you sold the world's most delicious potato chip, wouldn't you want the cute little free sample ladies handing them out at Costco? Of course you would, because people would try them, they'd love the product, and they'd buy a few bags on the spot. It would be good business. So what do you think it says about a company when they make their product inaccessible to try before you buy? You following me here? I'm saying that if Secretlab's chairs were bags of potato chips, they'd be ass cheeks flavor. But at least the bag would have a cool design. But the reason not being able to try it first really bothers me is because if you don't love it, you've got to take the chair apart, get it perfectly back inside the giant box, assuming you didn't damage that box while opening it, drive it over to the post office, and pay probably over $100 or more to ship this 70+ pound chair back at your expense. I know I seem a little heated here, and it's okay if you have a different opinion than me on this. It just feels to me like Secretlab is relying on the sunk cost fallacy here. They're not giving you any chance to try it in person because they're not in any retail stores. They're marketing it just on the looks and the assumption that it's going to be comfortable. Then they're betting that once you see how hard and expensive it is to return, you give up and just decide it's easier to just keep it. But you know the one thing harder than returning a Secretlab chair? A Secretlab seat. A hemorrhoid hates to see this chair coming. They are way too firm and feel like sitting on a rock. But that's not even the worst part. Secretlab's 4-way L-Adapt system sounds innovative in theory, but in practice, it's like adjusting a brick wall. There's no actual spinal contouring whatsoever. Look, I get it. If you're in your early 20s, you're probably not thinking about back pain or posture just yet, but trust me, if you sit in this for 8 hours per day, you will be soon. Because the back of this seat is flatter than my ex and does just as little to support me. Seriously, this is one of the worst things about the Secretlab Titan EVO for me. I generally sit with pretty good posture thanks to another office and gaming chair I'll shout out later in the video, and switching to this one gave me absolute whiplash. No matter how far forward I set the recline, this chair does nothing to hold me up unless I kind of slouch into it like this. So I typically default to sitting like this or like this, where it's like not even touching my back at all. And yes, I've fiddled with the knobs on the side every which way. They're not very intuitive and they don't make a noticeable difference for me. And these racer style seat bolsters only make it worse. Apparently their purpose is to make racing games feel more immersive, but let's be real here, Captain Falcon. You're not in a race car, so all these are doing is restricting movement and taking up space. Plus, if you're on the bigger side, a big old thick boy, hit subscribe because I love my thick boy. I fucking say that. Cut that. Plus, if you're on the bigger side, good old thick boy, these are gonna dig into your back and make your slouch even worse. In preparation for this review, I did buy this Secretlab Titan EVO with my own money, but after seeing horror stories about their costly return process, I actually wasn't super eager to buy directly from Secretlab. I did find a source that might be a little bit safer and more convenient, so I'll drop a link to that down below. But while I was shopping around, I noticed that you can find a lot of these chairs used on Facebook Marketplace. Seriously, take a look at Facebook Marketplace yourself and tell me what you think, because I saw so many of these chairs that were only a year or two old that are already faded, peeling, or held together with duct tape. I guess my big takeaway about the Titan EVO and frankly all Secretlab chairs is that they're mostly just for show. They really are cool looking chairs and I totally understand why streamers use and promote them. But at the same time, I'm pretty confident that behind the scenes, those streamers aren't actually sitting in them for 8 hours per day. Or they are, and their back and posture are just fucked. Because the flat back of this chair is the farthest thing from ergonomic. Personally, with the recline and magnetic head pillow, I don't think Secretlab's Titan EVO is the worst for console gaming, but for PC gaming or actually getting work done at a desk, I think these are going to be super uncomfortable and really bad for your back over time. But there are some chairs I like a lot better for the average daily user, even if they don't look quite as flashy on live stream. My absolute favorite option right now, and the chair I use every day, is a bit more expensive than this one, but it's been a tremendous investment into my health, and I've been recommending it to all my own family and friends. It's just so much more comfortable and so much better for your spine and posture, and I have a whole video up about it, so you can check that one out right here. But I'll also drop some links down below to some other gaming chairs that I think are a better deal than the Titan EVO.